Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we're going to be answering a whole bunch of questions here. Remember, we answer all these on Tuesday during our live show, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Let's go to LC Raider. Hey, man, late happy birthday, Mitch. Which receiver impressed you the most from the Combine, and who fits the Raiders' need most? The guy that impressed me the most in terms of realistic picks in the first round is Chris Olave. I loved what I saw from Sky Moore from Western Michigan, and then Christian Watson, the kid from North Dakota State. Really, really impressive receivers. Out of all three of those, I would say you take Olave in round 1. Sky Moore is probably round 2 now, and if Watson's there in round 3, that's where I would target those receivers. Also, appreciate the birthday. Let's go to Sheba. Wow, we need to go all in on defense and a number 1 receiver. If Carr, the worst quarterback in the AFC West, doesn't take a team-friendly deal, we need draft picks. I don't totally disagree with this. I mean, it's always been, not that I don't like Derek Carr, but I think the Raiders would be better off if DC took a team-friendly deal, or the Raiders would be better off trading him away, getting a whole bunch of draft picks, and then trying to rebuild the team that way, because we've seen if Carr doesn't have a team around him, he's just not good enough to be able to carry us to where we need to go. In terms of a number 1 receiver in defense, yes, I agree with all of these things, but if Carr is willing to make, let's say, $33 million on average over the next 3 years, believe it or not, that's a pretty good deal. Let's go to Tim from GG. Trade for DK Metcalf after Russell Wilson trade and Calvin Ridley news. So this is actually funny. We were talking about this in the office, that if I was DK Metcalf, I'd be like, okay, time to get the hell out of here, right? I mean, I wouldn't want to stick around. And if I'm Seattle, I'm like, okay, we're just going to start selling the farm now, do a total rebuild. If you could get DK Metcalf for, I mean, they just traded Russell Wilson for 2 first-rounders. If you get DK Metcalf for a second-round pick and then go ahead and assure him that, yeah, we're going to give you a fat contract, I would do that. A first-round pick for DK, not that I don't love it. I mean, I still would probably do it if I'm being 100% with y'all. But, yeah, I'm on the board with it. And then in terms of Calvin Ridley, man, he's got to get his head out of his you-know-what. These Bama receivers, huh? Let's go to Sir Quan. What do we need to do offensively to compete? I think you mean compete in the AFC West now. You got to get a right tackle. You got to get at least 2 other wide receivers, and you got to make sure that you got Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, happy as can be. But build the offensive line. You need a guard, whether it's left or right guard, since they're not committed on what they're going to do with Alex Leatherwood. So 2 offensive linemen, 2 star receivers, and make sure that Renfrow and Darren Waller are happy as could be. So what do y'all think here? The Raiders got the number 22 pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, and I am really excited about being able to, I don't know, potentially be in Vegas. I think it'd be fun. I don't see it happening, but hey, you never know. So who do you think that the Raiders should target at pick 22? My answers still remain this: Trevor Penning, Jordan Davis, Chris Olave, and remember, I said that a month ago. Let's go to Sean. What would be your priority in free agency given today's trade of Wilson to be competitive? Well, I am going to focus on the defensive side of the football. If you're saying, Mitch, you can only spend over $20 million on one player, who would it be? It would be J.C. Jackson. I think Jackson is the top free agent cornerback out there. He has a lot of relationships with some of these past, Patriots coaches. I would put J.C. Jackson as the number 1 guy to go out and get right now. Let's go to Cesar Garcia. Happy late birthday, bruh. Appreciate you, Garcia. Let's go to Raider Torres, 93. We need to get Allen Robinson ASAP. I agree. He's the number 1 receiver out there right now. It depends on how much you're going to pay him. But again, I would have J.C. Jackson at 1. Allen Robinson would probably be my second priority, but those priorities are also based on overall how good a player is, right? You're probably not going to get both Robinson and J.C. Jackson, so you'd have to pick it. As much as I love A-Rob, I would rather go out and get J.C. Jackson and save a little bit of money, go out and get somebody like a Christian Kirk, like a DJ Chark, one of these lesser tier receivers. Let's go to George. Just drink, baby. Hey, man, we're ready to get drinking here. If we get another 85 on this live, Sam's got to do a boot. I don't know about you. I want to see it. Let's go to Killa Cruisin'. Do you think LV would go and sign J.C. Jackson? Yes. I know for a fact that they have interest in J.C. Jackson. I actually talked to a player, can't reveal his name, that said that he also knows that the Raiders have had interest in J.C. Jackson. But, hey, you didn't hear that from me. Let's go to Radagoff, one of my guys. $20 super. There is a reason you see teams make moves like the Seahawks. Something in the milk ain't clean. They want to get rid of Russell Wilson unless they know something the public don't. Well, actually, I'm going to disagree with some of the stuff that you're saying. Russell, to me, was the guy that wanted out of there, and Russell was the guy that said, hey, either you trade me or I'm going to throw a hissy fit, and I think that's what it came down to. So what I saw is Seattle being like, okay, we're going to get rid of him, we're going to get as much as we possibly can, and then move on from that. But I actually don't think that there's anything bad in the milk. It's Russell Wilson, and to be honest with y'all, whatever milk Russell Wilson's drinking, I'm going to have to go out and get some 2% of that thing as well. Now, if you love the Raiders, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I know I always got my OGs around here like David Zahn, Rudigut Productions. Just know that I appreciate y'all. But what makes the Raiders Report different is our show is built on the community. It's built on just the relationships that we've been able to just be breaking down. We also do a lot of news and rumors as well. So if you love the Raiders, you love having a good time, if you want to make every day feel like an Oakland Raiders tailgate, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. David Zahn, he sent in a $100 super chat. Sam and I already did a shot of Fireball. We drank some beers as well. For those of you that don't know, if you see David Zahn in the chat, it's about to get wild. Zahn, you know I love you. I was talking to you all weekend, so much love to you, brother. Let's go to Brett. Trade for DK. I know we just talked about this, but if it was the 22nd overall pick for DK Metcalf, I would actually say yes. But if I get it for a second, yeah, sure, even better. Let's go to Rev Jeremy. Heard Trevor Penning can go in the top 10. Have you heard this? So I saw that there was a mock draft where Penning actually went number 6 to the Carolina Panthers. That's the only thing that I've seen personally about Penning, and this really comes down to if you need a right tackle. If you need a right tackle, Penning is the clear-cut number 1 right tackle in this year's draft. I know that you have Evan Neal. I know that there's Eki Ekwonu and then Charles Cross. Those are the top 3 OTs, but they're all on the left side. If you're a football team and you believe you need a right tackle, he could go a little bit higher because he's been balling out. Let's go to Angel Ramirez. Appreciate you, brother. Raiders, baby. Can I get some Raiders down in the chat? How many Raiders can I get down there in the chat? David Zahn wants to see Sam do a boot, and I think we're going to be doing a boot real soon. Let's go to Killer Cruisin'. Toga, 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 toga. Hey, I'm ready. If anybody's throwing a toga party this year, you let me know. I'll be there. Let's go to Sean. Any way we could sign Robinson and Shark, I have a soft spot for DJ. I mean, it's better than having a hard spot for him, I guess, right? I would say if you're going to go out and get DJ Chark, he's probably going to cost somewhere between $11, $12 million, and then Robinson is going to be 18 or 19. And I've actually thrown out this idea before where I like the idea of getting these 2 receivers because let's just say you wanted to spend $30 million on Davante Adams. I love Davante Adams. And I actually posted this question on my Locals community channel where I would rather have DJ Chark and Allen Robinson. Let's say they both total $30 million. Compared to just one receiver like Davante Adams at 30. But, Sean, we're on the same page here. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and bet on March Madness, you can go ahead and do so. How do you do it? Go to chatsports.com/Raiders. Use promo code Raiders125. That's going to get you 125% deposit bonus. So whether you want to bet on the NBA, whether you want to bet on... trying to think, I would say the MLB, but they got to get their shit together. I'm going nuts without some baseball. Then go to chatsports.com/Raiders. Just use promo code Raiders125. That gets you 125% deposit bonus. Let's go to Bad Influence 94RS. How many just win babies that we get JC Jackson? So I am about to go to the Just Win Babies very soon, and we just hit $300, so somebody is going to have to go get Sam a little booty boot, which we'll get to in a sec. Don't worry. But how many Just Win Babies? I am only going to give it 1, but the fact that I'm giving it 1 Just Win Baby is something that's should be mentioned. But any player out there right now is probably Just Win Baby. But if I was the Raiders, J.C. Jackson would be the number 1 guy I'd have circled. Let's go to Daniel Keenan, always with the caps on. Mitch! Will the Raiders go after Harold Landry since Tennessee didn't franchise tag him? I think Harold Landry would be a phenomenal fit on just about any single defense. Here's the thing, though, right? Edge rushers cost a lot of money. Not that you can't find solid edge rushers, but if the Raiders have needs, and I think we would all agree, wide receiver, offensive line, those are probably bigger needs. Cornerback, probably a bigger need. Linebacker, probably a bigger need. The Raiders have other bigger holes, and if you go out and get somebody like Landry, that's going to cost $20 million a year. I see the Raiders addressing their extra edge needs in the draft because they have Unique, and they also have Max Crosby. Let's go to David. Do we go get Tyrann Mathieu? I love the Honey Badger. He is a super versatile player, but again, I'm also on the board of not overpaying for safeties. I like what the Raiders have out of Merrick. You guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of Jonathan Abram. However, I'm not going to go out and spend over $15, $16, $17 million on the Honey Badger because he's going to want to get paid more money than Jamal Adams. Like him a lot, just not going to pay that much for a safety. Let's go to Matt Patterson. I actually went to high school with a kid named Matt Patterson. Should the Raiders sign Rasul Douglass? I know last year I was the biggest fan of Rasul Douglass, and I had so many other Raiders, YouTubers, analysts, people on the radio, insiders saying, oh, Rasul Douglass is nothing. I told y'all, Rasul Douglass is a good player. I also had a lot of people tell me, oh, Rasul Douglass didn't fit the Raiders scheme. That's why they got rid of him. If you can't use a Pro Bowl caliber player in your defensive scheme, then you got to go out and get new coaches. Do I like Rasul Douglass? If he wanted to come over to the Raiders, yes, I would in fact use him. To be 100% honest with y'all, I'd probably have more confidence in Rasul Douglass than I do right now in Trayvon Mullen. Douglass is a free agent, but if you go into the season with only Rasul Douglass and Trayvon Mullen, I do think that's a little bit of a loss. So I like Douglass, but I'm hopefully that the Raiders can go out and get some other players as well. So how about this, y'all? I want you to name a corner that the Raiders should go ahead and sign. The top guy that I want is J.C. Jackson, and if you can't get J.C. Jackson, I also think Stephon Gilmore's very, very likely. Why? Patriots connections, also the Carolina connections. Remember that we just went ahead and we hired the Panthers defensive backs coach, Simmons. He's now with us. If you're trying to go a little bit cheaper, well, I don't want to spoil it for my live audience. I got some big-time names coming up. Let's go to David Zahn. It says, getting closer. Why, did David send in more? David's been trying to get us drink. David's always ready to drink. So David said, getting closer. And then he says, okay, let someone else finish it. Das Boot. Das Boot. So we got the 300, which means Sam's going to go ahead, and he will be doing a boot, and we'll do it after this mailbag cut. So it'll be right before free agency. And then after the mailbag, so I promise, maybe in about, give us like 5 minutes here, we'll get into the boot. David did another one, says new tattoo. Yes, I did get a new tattoo, and I know I showed you all a few weeks ago, but it was a little bit red, and people were like, oh my God, Mitch, your arm's going to fall off. I am going to get a full sleeve, but essentially all I got so far is a rose, and I got a cross wrapped in a cancer ribbon because for those of you who know, I lost a few of my really close family members to cancer and F cancer. But David, appreciate you noticing. Let's go to Mike. Mike, just showing some love. MBL. Maybe you should change your name to MVP for that super chat. Let's go to LI Raider 312. With the news about teams being interested in Carr, have you heard any deals that were put out there for him? The only team that I know that has actually put a deal on the table for Derek Carr is the Washington football team. But that's because they literally picked up the phone. They called almost every single team. We're like, hey, is this guy available? Hey, is this guy available? Hey, is this guy available? I talked about it, I believe, on yesterday's show or 2 days ago where I was like, if Washington throws, let's say, 3 first-round picks at the Raiders, you'd be stupid to turn that down. I love Derek Carr. He's a hell of a quarterback. But if you get 3 first-round picks, I mean, you should go ahead and do that, right? Now, they don't have 3 first-round picks, so they'd have to make a few other things happen. But have I heard some of these rumors? Yes. But also, NFL teams are not doing their job unless they do call the Raiders. Just like the Raiders wouldn't be doing their job if they didn't answer some of these calls. Let's go now to this. Remember, y'all, I am on Locals, and if you want to get more exclusive videos, you want to see me do an NFL Combine, my opinion about Amari Cooper, you can join at RaidersReport.locals.com. Also, I know I've been always telling y'all, hey, hit me up on IG, but I'm always trying to keep it real with y'all. I'm going to answer my DMs now on Locals because I want to be able to provide the insight that you're looking for. And if you want to challenge me for March Madness, we're going to be doing a March Madness challenge, and it's only for supporters on Locals. So if you want to join that tournament, you got to become a supporter at RaidersReport.locals.com. I'll send you an email then that gets you your invite, and the winner is going to get a signed Raiders memorabilia. I believe it's going to be like a Tim Brown, it could be Marcus Allen, or a Bo Jackson signed helmet. So we're going to have a few different things to think about. But if you're interested in that, please join with our community on Locals. Let's go to Radaguff. Commitment to drinking. No, see, Raider Nation is commitment to having a damn good time. That's the difference. Man, Jay Davis is a must. Okay, so you're talking about Jordan Davis. Told y'all, song the run must be a priority. Stop the run. Then fix the O-line. DC is a hell of a quarterback when kept clean. Just drink, baby. I told y'all Jordan Davis was that dude. Did I think he was going to run a 4.7840? No, I did not think so. And in fact, a lot of people have been saying it's been a top 4 combine of all time. Any player, any position. That's how good Jordan Davis's combine was. And then in terms of protecting DC with the O-line, of course. Here's the thing, though. If you pay Derek Carr all this money, what money do we have left to be able to make some of these other moves that we have to do? That's why I wanted DC to play at 19.9. Let's go to Daniel. Mitch, how the hell was the Wilson trade not illegal tampering? You can trade. Like, it's okay. You can make trades. Russell wasn't a free agent. That's the difference. If he was a free agent, then you can't contact the free agents. A little different. Let's go to Patrick B. If not Abram, then who should we look at to have at safety? Well, you could have Tyree Gillespie potentially step up. Roderick Teamer is going to be another guy to at least keep in mind, but there's other free agent safeties out there that you could also look at. And if I'm the Raiders, you're going to run so many different defensive schemes. We'll be okay. And if you have to throw out Abram out there once in a while at safety, it's not what I would do. They're better without Abram, but yeah, you could do it. Let's go to the greatness of the Raiders. Do any players in the Combine change your mind for your Raiders mock draft? Raiders! I would say the only guy that I would change my mind on, maybe David Bell. His Combine was really bad, though I was a little bit surprised because I thought his tape was a lot better than his Combine. And then Kyron Williams, who I took in round 4. At first, I said, and the reason why I took Williams in round 4 was because I thought that was going to be a steal. He might actually go in round 4 because of how bad his Combine was. Like, I mean, it was like grandma getting out of the tub ugly. It was really rough to see. Let's go to Killer Cruisin'. You think the Raiders make the playoffs? I want to be able to sit up here and say yes. But until I see the way free agency goes, until I see if they make trades, how the draft goes, what other moves they make in the offseason, I have to say no at this current point right now because Derek Carr is the worst quarterback in the division. When you look at all the other teams, I think the Chargers are a more complete team right now. The Broncos are definitely a more complete team. And then the Chiefs are more complete. So as it stands right now, the Raiders are the worst team in this division. That can change, and I hope that it does change. But at this current moment, I got to be honest with y'all, no, the Raiders wouldn't make the playoffs if the season was right now.